This is Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search for my site, Postmates Advanced Training, with a series of videos. I am soliciting people to consider Postmates. If you register, you can put my name as the one who referred you. And if you're successful, I will earn a bonus. I had technical problems with the most recent Hangout, with the most recent video. I went to share my screen and it froze. And I don't check the quality of all the ones that I produce, so I don't really know how many are bad. And I also don't know why it was bad. Google Hangouts. So now I'm reading to try to figure out what I did wrong before I share my screen. Google Hangouts would like to share the content of your screen. Choose what you'd like to share. So I'm going to play it a little safer this time. Google Hangouts is sharing your screen with. Okay, this is my first delivery. Listeners, I've done this twice now. And the first time was last night, second time was tonight, and I tried to describe it, and I think I got lost in the detail. Again, I try to address three audiences, imagining who my listeners are, people who just listen because they listen. It's one of the mysteries of blogging and the internet. So everybody, like the apps are rated for everybody. So when I think like last night I had this battle with a doorman. I thought it was entertaining. It's the kind of stuff I have a history of people finding entertaining. It was conflict. It was some foul language. It was emotional, and that's the kind of stuff that's popular by my experience. So that would be everybody. Then there's Postmates in New York, Postmates not in New York. So I tried to describe what I did yesterday to Postmates in New York, and I have good reason to believe I was successful, though I don't think I did it very well for people outside of New York. So Postmates outside of New York, I'm going to make this more generic. I arrive in the city on the fringes of where I want to be. This is New Jersey over here. This is a river that separates New Jersey and New York. I live in New Jersey. I come through the Lincoln Tunnel, and so bam, right here, I am in a zone. This is Times Square. Visitors to New York, you probably find it hard to believe that Times Square is on the fringe of anything. And so just don't get distracted by that. Just listen to what I'm saying and don't start doing your own mapping of New York, because if you're a visitor to New York, it just gives you information about what should work with Postmates and what doesn't, and it's grossly flawed. So if you're a Postmates in New York, that's who I addressed last night. Tonight I'm going to be addressing Postmates not in New York. So don't be distracted by Times Square. If you know New York Postmates, other Postmates would verify this. That blue dot is on the fringes relative to the weekend. The type of business, the type of activity here is not great for Postmates. So in short, I come into the city, I'm in the zone, no zone over here. I get into the Postmates area, coverage area. I can take deliveries, but it's really not where I want to be. Where I want to be is a 22-minute bike ride down here, about where that heart is, about 3 times further than where that heart is. So I want to be down here. So do I leave my phone offline and go down here, or do I get a job here? Well, if I want to get right to work, I would go here. But I had some overflow things. Today was Mother's Day. I did some blogging and so on. So I came in, I sat comfortably at the bus station where this blue dot is. I took a job right here, and then I went to get a bicycle and left the area. So I got into the fringes of where I wanted to be. If the heat map, people who are Postmates out in New York, just think of your heat map. You've got a bullseye. That's where you want to be. Phoenix might be a specific suburb, or I don't think downtown Phoenix would be the center of your heat map. Whatever your center is where you want to be, when you arrive and you're in the fringes, what do? Do you go online or do you not go online? It's a basic strategy choice you have to make, and in addition to having to make it, you have to make it before you do anything else. So I elected to go online. I did one job. I got a bike here. 22 minutes later, I'm right here in the bullseye. I'm no longer fringes. So I did one job all the way up here. Then I went offline. Postmates people, both in and out of New York, you know very well when you want to work, you want to get jobs, you want to earn. It's hard to go offline. So anyways, 2 days in a row I have done that. Did one job, went offline. And I'll probably do it again and again on weekends. Weekdays, there is usually enough activity up here, and I'm quitting earlier, so weekdays are different. I will probably do this again. I did it both Saturday and Sunday. I will probably do this again. More specifically, come in, I'm on the fringes, I do one job, and then I go offline, and then continue to the bullseye where I want to be. And then there's my first job, Buy Clothes, one of the most popular restaurants for Postmates in New York. And for some, there's the 20-minute ride to get to Buy Clothes. And then here's me calling, probably to get rid of Buy Clothes. I don't know what that was. I think I tweeted that because the Buy Clothes delivery was too far back. Buy Clothes was taking me back to where I started. So I asked to get reassigned, and they cooperated. So I got a new one in a minute. There I am, Mamoons. Mamoons is cash only, so they took that away from me. And all this is happening relatively fast because now I've got one, and I elected to do this one. I accepted it. So there's 402, and when I had this, got a job, don't want it, take it from me, got another job, cash only, they took it from me. That was 402, and as you can see, this is 342. So in 20 minutes, I had and lost two different jobs. One by my choice, and the other because Mamoons is cash only. There's by Chloe. Fleet support fixed my issue. This is definitely E for everybody. I go into this building. I'm in the elevator here. And these little boxes are the borders of the mirror. This is like a mirror ball that you would see in like the disco of Saturday Night Fever with the famous John Travolta dance. Only the entire elevator, all the walls except the door, all the walls are covered with these mirrors. It's a disaster. I can't believe they did it. And there's me getting paid for, I should have gotten a bonus for having to ride that elevator. It was horrible. There's Outback Steakhouse, get paid for Outback Steakhouse. This is kind of crazy. Old Homestead Steakhouse. This is a nice restaurant. I don't know what the customer paid for the food, but it wasn't cheap. This is a formally dressed waitstaff, old-time service, linen tablecloths, presentation of food that was awesome, and I delivered the steak to like a 25-year-old. Whatever. Got paid for the steak, and then I went offline. Listeners, I go offline again. Just all Postmates people, you know it's not easy to do. I went offline at 5:55, and there I am an hour later going back online. Offline, 5:55, back online an hour later. I put my ass in a Starbucks and relaxed and had a coffee, a venti latte. This is a beautiful thing about this job. I was tired. I was going to go back home to New Jersey, and I thought, what am I going to do in New Jersey? I'm going to relax and maybe drink a coffee in my neighborhood. I can do that in New York. So I did it, and it worked. I go back online an hour later, and instead of quitting at 6, I ended up with 9 deliveries. There's get paid another one. There's buy Chloe again, and there's me jerking around with the schedule to get my hours. This is me tweeting because it went to blitz pricing. Now I'm 7 o'clock. This is an hour later. This is the line. I did not mean to feature this woman. She just came out the door. This is the line to go to buy Chloe, and there's me getting paid for that. Here's a pizza. It's kind of hard to carry a pizza. You got to carry it flat. Fortunately, it wasn't a very big one. And then there's my last one. It's blitz pricing. I am offline. And look at it. It's 9 o'clock. So I was going to quit at 6, and I ended up working 3 more high-energy hours, including running up in a 7th floor walk-up. I went up a 7th floor walk-up. And there's by Chloe, my second last one, and then there's my last one when I finished. So here are my deliveries. I'm going to read them from my phone. Listeners, if you want to see them for yourself, you go to my Twitter. I'm afraid to click on them because that's what I think caused my problem with the video yesterday. So I'll just read them. McDonald's was $5.22. By Chloe, $8.70. Outback Steakhouse, $4.74. Old Homestead Steakhouse, $4.26. Sticky Finger Joint. It's what it's listed as here. $4. By Chloe, $9.49. Now we kick into blitz pricing. So these numbers are. There's another 50% added to this. So Frankie's was $8.90. Plus, what is that, $4.50. Here's the pizza and vino, that's $6.56 plus another half. And then the final one was still blitz, but only 25%, so that's $8.33 plus 25%, which is about $2. So the final one went from 8 to 10. This has been Tom Duty. There we go. I'm over 300. Went over 300 tonight. Now, again, I'm a middle-aged man. A lot of younger people are doing this, and I'm now at 300. 300 is respectable. There's a lot of people that quit before 300. I have met a guy who's in the 4 digits. He's over 1,000, and again, he's a younger guy. $2,400. Been Tom Duty, middle-aged American living in New Jersey near the Lincoln Tunnel. If you were to visit my website, you would type Howdy Doody into Google. You'll find the correct spelling of the famous puppet. You then combine Tom Duty in a Google search from my site. Thank you for listening. Have a good day, good evening, or restful night's sleep. Ciao.